Hey, good morning, everybody.
Good morning. It
Yeah.
is it is a fantastic morning. I looked out my window this morning and I thought, wonder what time it is. It's darker than when I went to bed.
Oh, you're gonna get rain? Oh my
We
goodness.
need it. We
Yeah.
do. We need it.
I like a good, rainy day, but then, when it rains for days, I'm kind of like, I'm over the rain. I want my sunshine back, but I don't want my heat back, I like it to be 80, not humid, not dry, just, breezy, which is it's rare in Texas, I guess that happens. So,
I'd like to live somewhere between fall and spring.
right? Yeah. I like that. So like the 3 weeks or 2 weeks that we get out of the year like that, those were made for us. And then other than that, no,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
it's not.
Well, good morning. We are talking about creating videos today. This will be part one. And then, of course, next week we'll have part two. We've got so much to cover. We never cover it all. So we'll just keep going with creating graphics, creating videos, helping you with your social media, helping you with your PR. Public relations means a lot to a lot of different people. So, Aimee, one day I'd like for you to go over that. What does that mean to a customer who comes to you wanting somebody to help them get seen?
Yeah.
Back in the day, a long time ago, I used to work for a PR company, and it was all about authors. So I had 5 authors. Each of us that worked with the company had 5 different clients, and we would get them book signings, and we'd get them on television. We would get them speaking engagements, radio, you name it.
Oh
And
yeah.
my favorite, Aimee, was a client that was from Europe, and he flew into New York, and I took him across the country all the way to California, and then he flew back home. Oh,
Nice.
it was so much fun. I had a blast getting that. Was, like I said, that was back in the day when PR was all about book signings, radio, and television. But I
Yeah,
know it's totally different
getting
today.
out in the public and stuff.
Yeah.
It's still the same. I mean, there's minor changes and stuff, but it's still the same. People still want to get out there and be known. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
What is changed for me is our ability to make our own videos. Back then, it was lights, camera, action. Okay, you can speak. Here's the microphone. Oh, your time is over, and now somebody else gets a chance to talk. Now we get to hold the microphone and talk for as long as we want. If we
Oh
bore
yes.
people, it's our fault.
Yes, right? Yes. And Lord knows, my mom used to tell me when I was little that I could talk to a telephone pole. So I have no problem talking for any length of time, like it's all good. So, I mean, yeah, I think it's a beautiful thing being able to be in power of your own videos and how you want them to look and run and play around with it. So it's creating videos is definitely a sweet spot for me. It's like a stress reliever, I guess, in the sense for me. So
Another thing I think that has changed is people are being more realistic. They're being more of themselves. So I'm going to give you another story from back when and show you how it's changed. When we started doing videos for a living, when we first started our web design company, we did videos for people. We would show up with the crew.
hmm
Okay, it would be the lighting people, the camera people. It would be somebody like me that would help them with their hair and their, and getting ready. And I saw a terror that you don't want to see in somebody when that camera light would go on. It would be, it would just melt them down as a human being. And it didn't usually turn out very well, and they weren't happy with it. Well, who'd they blame? The video people. Okay, it wasn't our fault. So they would have to pack everything up and come back again another day when they were feeling better. And then they would hold up these big cardboard things with their daughters holding, and they'd be reading from the script, and it was almost as bad. You could hear the blah,
uh,
blah, blah, blah.
yeah.
So I stopped doing that. And then when we started being able to be more ourselves, I
hmm
saw that kind of slide away. Okay, it's not gone completely. You do have to practice. So if you could do some TikToking videos, or you could do some Instagram or whatever kind of videos, just be yourself.
Yeah.
That's when the magic happens.
Yeah. I mean, I think whenever I talk to people about videos, because I do them all the time. My life is a big video, okay? But it's it's one of those that, you know, when you're doing, let's say you're doing an ad for a business, your business, whatever, or a podcast you have coming up or a webinar or whatever, people want to know you because the people buy from someone they feel like they know, right? They don't want the professional business-esque
Not anymore.
version of you, right? Because they
No.
have those apps, where they have the teleprompter on the screen, you can read. People want to just know you and your personality. And that's why me and Marian, our personality shines, okay? I mean, I am quirky and goofy and just a hot mess most of the time. And it just is one of those things. I've become known for that. But I life happens and things happen, and me and Marian roll that into the videos and stuff that we do, because this is just how me and Marian are right now, is how we talk when we're not live. So it's just, this is 100% who we are. And I think people, and all the videos that I've had authors and stuff do, the readings and stuff, you get more traction that way because they feel like they're getting to know a piece of you and not the fake version of you, the real version, right? And there's a lot of the, not fake version, but there's a lot of business-esque, out there, and it's not authentic. I can't like resonate or
Yeah.
relate to them.
Yeah. That's why reality TV is so popular. And by the
Yeah.
way, we are getting thunder and lightning now. So if all of a sudden we blank off, sorry, that's the way it goes. Um, we're not in one of those studios where we have, a generator or anything.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about what kind of videos people are making today that are really making an impact. Okay, so if you have a message, if you have a passion that you need to share, and you don't own a video, you don't own a business, it's okay. You could have a nonprofit. You could just have an idea of something that you really want to share, something that triggers something inside of you that you just can't help but talk about.
Yeah.
Those videos are going to go where? Instagram, TikTok,
Yeah.
YouTube,
YouTube, Facebook,
LinkedIn,
LinkedIn. Yeah, well, yeah.
yeah,
Your website, they can go on
your
your
website.
website. Um, all kinds of places that you can repurpose video content, and it's always going to be relatable because it's just, who you are, and you're talking about things that you do or ideas that you have or tips that you can give or whatever,
My dog is saying, it's thundering outside.
No, it doesn't
Let's
like the
see if you can
rain.
see him. Let's see if you could. Come here, Pumpkin. Come here. Let's see. Let's see if everybody can see you. See, he's
No.
just a little baby. He says there's thundering and lightning out there, Mama.
Oh, is it a Doberman?
Yes,
Oh my
they
goodness.
are babies. Okay,
They
let me just
are. I
tell you.
love them. They're so sweet.
Yeah. Okay, so live and recorded.
Uh-huh.
If you're shy and you're not really sure what you're going to say, you could do some trials, you could do some testing, you could do some recorded so that you can do it over and over again. But here's what I found out with my clients and myself too. If you do it live, you're less likely to goof up. And if you do, you just say, oh, wow, I didn't mean to say that. What I really meant is, and you just keep rolling. And it takes less time, effort, money, and space. Honestly, just go live and see for yourself.
Well, I mean, think about it, Marian. Like when we go for a conversation and we meet in person, it's not rehearsed. It's just how the conversation flows and where it goes and stuff like that, right? And I view live video the same way. Like it's just a conversation that you're having. It looks like to yourself because no one else is usually in the room unless you have kids or whatever. But it's a conversation between you and the people that are online. Right. And so that's why doing something like StreamYard, like Marian do, where we can bring the comments up and interact with your audience, that kind of takes the edge off of being live, and the nerves and everything kind of go away because you're not really alone. Doing the pre-recorded and stuff is great if you're wanting to do a YouTube channel and market that way, then YouTube is great for that. You can also do live like we do, but having it, live versus pre-recording is, it's more like a authentic conversation. Where
Yes.
pre-recorded would be like if you're giving a speech and you've memorized this whole thing, rehearsed it and done all that, that's more like, I guess, business-esque. But I mean, even then, entrepreneurs and authors and stuff want to know you and then know about your business or whatever avenue
Oh,
you go down. You know what I'm saying?
yes.
So,
Oh, hey, we have an audience member who is saying something. Hey, Louise Dewey, that's Lady Lou.
Lady Lou, hello.
She says, what you see is what you get, huh, ladies? I love it. Keep doing it. Thank you. And Lady Lou and I, we had a show for years, and we did the same thing. We just absolutely killed it with the live. Nobody wants to take the recording and then try to edit it, especially if you do one every week or once a day. I know a gentleman who's on LinkedIn every day. His name is Russ Johns. Look him up. He is awesome. He has the Pirate Syndicate, and
Wow.
he interviews all kinds of different people every single day. Can you imagine if he were to have to edit all of those videos? But okay, you know what? There's some people who want to do that. So we're going to talk about the different things that you can do.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different avenues that you can go down: video editing platforms, hosting video platforms, like say that you wanted to
Yes.
do like a Patreon account like Marian has, or if you have a membership and you want only exclusive content to be released to them, you can password protect them. So there's a bunch of different places that will host. You can upload, you have control over them, you can edit. Marian knows a lot of them. Some of them I haven't heard of, and so I'm excited to dive in and learn some more of them that you know about. Marian, I'm excited about it.
Well, I have a list for today, and I know we're going to have a part 2, so we won't cover everything today. But today, I'll just go down the line of some of the places where you can create a video. Now, some of them are hosting as well, and Aimee will go into that a little bit. Biteable, Vimeo, Canva, Animoto, Ripple, and that's spelled Riple or something like that. Cyberlink's Power Director, Adobe, what is Spark? I think it's called Spark. Adobe Spark does
Yeah.
video. Visme, Visme, Majesto or Magisto. I don't know how you pronounce that. And then there's one that Aimee is researching that does 3D videos where if you put it on your website, they actually look like they're coming out at you. So
Yes.
she's going to talk about that next week. Hopefully she can get some more information.
Yeah.
So let's talk about creating those videos. Where are they going to live once you create them? So Aimee just said, some of the places you can create and host. One of them you use, Vimeo. Is that right, Aimee?
Yeah. So I use Vimeo for conferences that I assist or run, summits. And what it is I can make it where if you purchase recordings, you get the link to it, and then it's all password protected. So other people that didn't pay for the link or whatever don't have access to those videos because they didn't get the password. So it makes it where I am in control of my membership or access and things like that. And you can upload them all into a file and password protect that file and then the videos within it. So it kind of gives you control if that's the business direction that your business is going. There's a lot of masterminds, memberships, summits, stuff like that. And so, I always recommend Vimeo to them strictly because it does that. It gives you the power to, ultimately control who sees it, for how long they see it, the password, everything like that. So it's a very easy platform to do. You just drag and drop.
That sounds really interesting. I never really got into Vimeo, although one of my past partners, Russ Johns, who I told you about this morning, that you need to look up on LinkedIn, Russ Johns, the Pirates Syndicate. He used Vimeo. I think he still does. And he used it as a storage. He didn't create his videos there, but he used it for storage. And like you said, he would give people links to different videos that he did that they paid for.
Yeah.
One of the things that I'd like to talk about today, and you hear me talk about this a lot, Aimee mentioned it a minute ago, and that's Patreon. So I'm just going to share my screen for a minute and show you what I mean by how wonderful Patreon is, because it to me is one of the things that really keep me going. Can you all see my screen okay?
Yep.
So it's pretty small. Let me see if I can make it bigger. But look what you get to do. You come in here and click on post new, and you get to choose what kind of post you do. You could do a live stream right here. You could upload a video right here. You could upload an image, your text, your podcast. You could just share links, and you can even do polls here. So think about how cool that would be if you want to do a live stream or upload a recorded video right here. So you don't actually create a video that's not live here, but you can still create a video here, right here on Patreon. And that is coming up in 2 weeks. We're going to be offering that. Aimee and I have a program where we're helping you with details on how to create things and how to handle your social media. There's all types of things like Wix, website design. So if you're interested in learning the deep dive into each one of these, feel free to go over to Natural Curiosity on Patreon. So it's patreon.com/naturalcuriosity and check it out. The level is creating videos. No, that's not the name of it. I'll look it up and post it. Patreon is fantastic. I'm telling you. And you know what? The best part is you don't pay unless somebody pays you. There's no monthly fee. You pay, you share the revenue with them, and it's very small. It's a very small revenue share. Really, really cool. All right, what's next, Missy? You got anything?
Let's see. So
I know you do.
Allergies are bothering me. Yeah, you know.
Oh, okay. Well, I can take another one if you need more time.
No, it's all good. So Adobe Spark, which I know that we talked about when we were talking about the creation of graphics, but you can also create videos within it, and it's actually the #1 like platform to create different animations. So animations in terms of like the 3D ones. We've all seen those ads on Facebook where it's like, you know, it looks like the astronaut's coming out of the screen and then going back in and doing the circle. It'll do stuff like that. There's a bunch of other ones. There's Pixar, Animation Desk, some other ones. But Adobe Spark not only does graphics, but it does videos. It's actually the top one in terms of doing like 3D animations and stuff. So if you haven't jumped into Adobe Spark for graphics, but you like to do videos, you should take a look over for in terms of videos and stuff. I actually
What is the cost for that?
Adobe Spark. Let me pull up their pricing plan so we can have accurate information.
Yeah, everybody always wants to know how much is that going to cost me.
I know. I'm telling you, I totally get it. So they kick you into a free trial, and then
they have a compare plans tab at the top.
So they have your first month will be free for the first 30 days, and then it's $10 a month for the individual plan. They have a team plan where if you need to have multiple people under your account, that is $20 a month. And then the starter plan, which is just to try it out and see what all works, is completely free. With the free version, you're not going to get everything. The difference between the individual and the team is having admin, you know, an admin option to control who's on what projects and stuff like that. If you don't have a whole lot of people working for you, then the individual one is the one that I would go with. So, but you're looking at $10 a month after your first month.
That's not bad at all.
Mm-mm.
Now compare that to something like Canva.
Yeah.
Is it anything like Canva? Like, can you make? Do they have graphics and things that you can use, or
they have templates and different? Their templates are going to be different. They have the sizing for all social media graphics and videos and stuff like that. But you can drag and drop. You can do it from your phone, just like with Canva. So it's going to be the same setup. It's just Adobe's version of Canva is what I would say.
Okay. So when you're finished with your creation, they don't store it there. You can't send people there like a website. You have to store it somewhere else, right?
Yeah, you would have to download the image and then upload it.
My hair's like going. Okay.
Oh, I don't see that.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah,
I think it's the electricity outside.
yeah. It's giving you that extra jolt this morning. I'm down for it. I like it.
It's so interesting because when you first get started creating your own graphics and videos and whatnot, people don't tell you these things. They
Yeah,
don't explain what's really behind it. You have to get in there and start paying for something and then finally realize, oh, well, I need some other place to host my videos. Darn, what does that mean now? Now I have to go and so here's why Aimee and I are so excited about being here and sharing this with you. We want you to understand what it takes to not only create your own stuff, but how you're going to share it once you've created it. What are you going to do with it? Are you going to just sit there and look at it yourself? No, you want to be able to share it once you create it. So it has to live somewhere.
yeah,
And that's the same with Patreon, what I talked about earlier. It's free to create, but most of it you have to create somewhere else and bring it in. So where does it live? Now, I'm going to take you one way. Okay, this is just one way that you could go. When you create a video, you can actually store it without anybody seeing it on YouTube. You have
ooh,
to upload it to YouTube and make it either private so no one but you can see it, or unlisted where people have to have a link. They can share that link so it's not private anymore, right? They can share it if they get a bug up their butt.
yeah,
So if it's like a mastermind, or if it's a webinar and you're going to only give it to the people that have paid for that program, then you have to trust that people are not going to share that link. So
right.
who cares, right? Just do it. Don't be holding everything in because you're afraid somebody's going to take your stuff. That will stall you and make you miserable. So that's one way. Aimee, you have another way to
Um,
store your videos? And
I mean, in terms of storing in my videos, I use Vimeo, but I also create different folders in on my desktop. And I just download my videos and put them in there. Now that takes a lot of time on mine, but I also have a private YouTube channel for like my masterminds and stuff, and only they have the link to it, so then, they can go and watch them up there, cuz then that takes it off of my desktop and my memory and my hard drive and stuff like that, and it's somewhere that they have access to it. Now, if they share that link with other people, I don't have control over that. But at the same time, it's kind of like if you felt the information was good enough to share with somebody else, I'm okay with it. So those are the two that I use. I guess the three is my private desktop. But other than that, it's YouTube and Vimeo for me is what I use. So.
all right, so let's cover a little bit about this little doohickey right here, and
All right.
how we can use that to create videos. There are many, many apps like Ripple and Magisto. Somebody's
One
going
of
to
those,
tell me
we're
how
gonna
to.
get it right one day. One day it's just gonna hit us. We're gonna be like, oh, that's how you say that, Yeah. One day
Yeah,
we're gonna nail it on the head one day.
there you go. Um, so think about that now. There's so many different ways. Don't get caught up in that. Whatever way you feel most comfortable, go with that. Don't try to do them all. Don't try to figure out the best one. You know, that's where a coach comes in. Okay.
Yeah.
If you can talk to a coach and say, this is what I want to do, how do I get there? What's the best way to get there? I'm going to give you an example. This was a long time ago. I wanted to do um, a podcast, just an audio podcast. I didn't want to do anything else. I just wanted to podcast on iTunes and Stitcher and SoundCloud and all those places. And I asked a friend of mine for advice on what I should do. An hour later, after he'd explained everything you could ever do with a podcast, I was so overwhelmed I didn't want to do it anymore. Like, don't give me everything. Don't tell me everything there is to tell me about podcasts. Tell me what's right for me. You know my budget. You know my skill level. Just tell me what's right for me. So there's two ways you can go. You can hire somebody to do it for you and you just show up, or you can do everything yourself, or a combination of those, right? Yeah. So my suggestion is figure out what it is that you want to do and then find the easiest, least expensive way, if that's what you need to do, and go that way. And then you could learn more about stuff later. What do you think of
Yeah.
that philosophy,
I mean,
Aimee?
you definitely take stepping stones. Don't try to, like, swim the entire ocean, because that's going to be super difficult. Do stepping stones for sure. I mean, me and Marian didn't start out and we're just like, we're going to conquer all of these things. It literally started with, I'm just going to do a video, and the worst video you ever do will be your first one. And when you come to terms with that and then it gets better, it really can't be worse than your very first video. It really just can't. Okay. No matter how many you've done, your first video will always be your worst one. And then it just, each time it gets easier, it gets better. You learn more as you do it. But I guess for me is I have to do it and learn as I do it. I can't, if I do all this research ahead of time, I will scare myself and I will never start it, right? Because I'll be like, oh, well, I don't have all the information. I don't know what my best platform is. What should I do? Should I use StreamYard? Do I really want to go live? Do I want to do more of the pre-record? What do I want to do? And you start questioning, doing all these things. Just start it on whatever you find to be the most comfortable, fits in your budget, and then learn as you go. Talk to other people. You're tuning in to me and Marian. We are a library of resources and information from our failures, our hiccups, things that we love, we've learned from, we no longer use, we are waiting to use, So it's just one of those stepping stones, but you have to step. You can't just you can't be afraid to get in the water. You need to get in the water and just slowly start swimming. Learn as you go. That's the best. I mean, that's how I did it, and it has worked wonderful for me. So that's what I would do.
I got to tell you about a project that I'm working with a client. So in my mastermind, we have a lot of people who are starting new business. I got a couple that are into health and nutrition, and they really want to help people and coach them and train them. And video is a great way to do that, live or recorded, it doesn't matter. So one of the ladies asked me, how did you do that, Marian? I think I showed y'all last week that meditation video I didn't
Yeah.
I? Yeah. So she said, oh my God, that's what I want to do for health and nutrition. And I said, okay. So we sat down to teach her how to do it. 2 hours later, we still hadn't even been halfway through. And I thought, this is not the best for her. Okay. She's starting at my level.
Mm-hmm.
She's not at my level. And so I had to take a step back and say, look, this is not something that you probably want to tackle right now, because I could feel the frustration. Who wants to take 4 or 5 hours to create a video? Nobody. Yeah. Okay, nobody. Yeah. So sometimes, like you said, Aimee, sometimes it doesn't work. Your first video, it just is not the right video for you. That's okay. Don't give up. Let's try a different strategy.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things that people don't even think about, and we didn't even mention today, was something I do a lot, and that is to turn on Zoom. There is even a free version of Zoom, and you just hit the record button, and there's your video and your audio. And then you take the video out, and then you have to edit it somewhere. You can't just show that, right? It probably wouldn't be the best to just show it that way.
Yeah, I mean, you have to rewatch it and make sure that sound quality is good, and the unnecessary stuff, you could trim it out and everything. But I mean, it's more, I don't know. I mean, Zoom is such a wonderful platform. It was my starting platform, and it's one of those, just pick one and go with it.
Right.
If you don't like
Turn it on, hit the record button.
Yeah, If you don't like it, that's okay.
Delete.
If you need someone to sit on there
Delete.
with you while you like fuddle around and figure it out, that's okay too. Because I've totally done that. Like I've been like, I need you to sit with me and we're gonna try to go live. Marian, I did that with Restream, whatever that one is.
Yeah,
And I was
Restream.
like, I can't figure this one out. And I did not realize that when I was going live on YouTube, it like, I don't even know. And I mean, I think I was on there for 15 minutes and I was like, Sandy, I just don't see it. I can't find it. And I don't know who was watching. I had like 50 views on that thing. And I was like, oh my gosh. Oh, I look like a fool. I was like, I'm not using Restream. I don't know how to do this. And I have yet to this day, I should probably go and delete those videos, but I haven't. Like, it was a huge failure. And I was just like, okay, this is not my platform. Like, we're maybe not, you know? But I mean, it happens. That was, definitely happened. So,
yeah. What I like about Zoom is the ease of just turning it on. You could do similar to what Aimee and I are doing right here. You can't put anything like the welcome to Tools, Tips, and Technology down here. You can't do that unless you take it into a video editing program. But that's, it's okay. It really is. There's lots of tools that you can use on your phone. You can even use Zoom on your phone. My goodness gracious.
Oh, yeah.
Let's not let technology stop you. If you need answers to questions, feel free to reach out. Aimee and I have several things going on. If you're an author, you definitely want to connect with Aimee. If you're just wanting to start a new business and you just want to have a community, hang out with us in the Mastermind. We have a business mastermind on Tuesday nights. There's lots of ways, and we'll answer your questions on air here. If you want to come on, we'd be happy to have you on.
Yeah, we're open.
Our time is gone already, Aimee.
Oh my goodness. Oh, okay. All right. I mean, I don't even know. We made it through like what, Marian, 3, 4? Oh goodness. That's right. That's why there's a part 2. We'll finish it.
Part 2 coming up next week.
Yes.
It's always wonderful to hang out with you, Aimee. You are.
I look forward to Tuesday mornings with you, Marian. It's always so much fun. I hope it doesn't rain. I guess a downpour. I guess it's a better word. I've been in Houston when it rains, man. I don't miss the rain in Houston. Y'all get
it rains.
Yeah.
When it rains, it pours, unfortunately.
It does. Stay dry. But I hope everybody has a great Tuesday, and I can't wait to finish this conversation next week with you guys. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, and Aimee's gonna have some more information about that 3D video maker.
Yeah.
There might be more than one, who knows? So stay tuned. Thanks for joining us today. Bye everybody.